Hey everybody, welcome back to Stand By for Tones. It's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
But we're here today just get some content out. It's been a while and we want to just get back to it. We've been trying to. It's just been a crazy year. So that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today is kind of some of the stuff from 2025 and kind of what we have planned going forward. We'll touch on a few things, but no, let's get into it. Sam, how's life?
It is, dude. It is busy. like we've just been getting our butts kicked at work all year long with projects, flying, base stuff, and all the fun things with work. Then family's just been growing. I've got a kid in elementary school now and learning that whole free till 3 life and trying to make do. It's been really good, but it has been hard. And then adding another element of going back to college has not been easy.
Yeah, so that's one thing that both Sam and myself have been doing is back to school.
Oh, back to school, back to school.
Not that I can say that I love it, but hey, it's for the future. So both of us have been knocking out prereqs, getting everything ready, and starting nursing school in January.
Yeah, and before everybody reaches out and is just like, oh, why are you going to nursing school? Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot behind it.
Right?
Oh,
there's a ton behind it.
Not only is there, the huge pay dynamic, which is, in our area is a huge difference between the paramedic and the nursing world. But it's also, like Isaac said, it's longevity-wise. Yeah. And a lot of the reason is it's not because we want to stop flying or we are going to stop flying by any stretch of the imagination.
Nope.
It's what does our careers look like down the future especially for the business. We have to have these licensures for accreditation, for course building, everything down the line. So looking at the grand scheme of things in the big picture, it just made sense. And our school's being paid for free, hopefully. So that's a lot of it too, is if I don't have to put a whole lot of money into it, I'll put the effort into it and it's going to be well worth a while.
Yeah. And I think longevity's probably the biggest one, especially financial. Just because, there's so many more opportunities as a nurse, so many different opportunities that you can do. I mean, your career path is pretty much endless.
It's
wide open. So many things you can do versus the being on the truck or on the helicopter. I mean, you have basically you're flying, you're on the flight line, you're some sort of supervisor, or you're in charge of the whole thing, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
so.
There's a couple new variations that are being explored more readily. I mean, we've got community health paramedics, we've got mobile integrated health, all of those things to kind of model that nursing kind of side of things. But it will take a very, very, very long time for it to be recognized at the level that the nursing pathway is, which is truly unfortunate because I love being a paramedic. I'll never not be a paramedic. I'll never let my licensure lapse.
Correct.
But having that dual certification, dual verification of everything, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be nice. But also, I guess for us being busy, like we talked about, just our personal lives have been crazy and just with work. I mean, we were looking at some numbers today. So flying wise for this year, I think Sam's done 166.
Yep. 166 patient transports.
And I'm right behind him at 165. So I know a lot of flight agencies don't get close to that. It takes a few years to even get 100 for some places. So we stay busy. That's for dang sure.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, like, some are going to, like our traditional ambulance, clinicians are going to hear those numbers and be like, oh, that's nothing. And they're going to laugh. But, the reality of it is each one of those calls equals about 5 of a traditional ambulance transport. It feels like, depending on, we have some pretty long legs where we're at. So, it's going to take us, 4 hours round trip for most of these rotor flights. And that's quite a bit of time in the seat. So I don't even want to know what that equates to seat time in the helicopter. So
I don't want to know either, but it's crazy. I remember hearing it and thinking, whatever, before I started flying, but like, man, it wears you out. You do 3 flights in a shift and you're toast.
Yeah.
It's crazy. the effect that flying has on your body. So, no, it's definitely been busy at work. Obviously, we pick up ambulance shifts as well, and other stuff. But no, but as far as a company, what else have we been doing?
Oh man, we have as much as you guys haven't seen us, the company has grown and is, it's really starting to. It's not a household name yet, like we've talked about, but it's really kind of gained a little bit of traction, more moderate traction in the critical care side of things, which is great. But we've also put on our first, initial licensure course. We did our first EMR course, which was great. We had about 27 students go through with some really great success, really made it a good learning environment. It's a hybrid course where they do all of their coursework, within a set time frame, but on their own time. We meet with them, check in with them, do skills verification, things like that. And then we're just trying to add things on top of that. And, we built an EMR refresher. We've been working on the book some more, been working on websites and kind of upping our app game. And it's been busy.
Yeah, for sure. So with that EMR course, one of the things that we wanted to do was not just go and teach it in person, but have something that we could sustain for a long time and be able to reuse. So that initial course that we put on, it took
months,
many months, probably about 6 months of hard work to get that filmed, to going through all the content with everything, doing all the editing, which was a pain in my butt.
Yep. But test generation, which is the pain in my butt. You can have video editing. I'll take test generation.
So that was like 6 months of our year right there, was just that EMR course. But now we have the refresher out. So, we can, you got 16 plus hours right there for a great price, probably half of what everybody else is charging. Yeah. Just something we wanted to do for our EMRs, because most of the guys are volunteers, and I don't think it's right that you have to pay a whole bunch of money to continue to volunteer. So trying to keep that as cheap as possible. We don't make a lot of money on it, but that's okay, because that's something we can do for you guys. Yeah. So we're happy to do that, and that's something that we've wanted to do from the beginning. It's just support our own.
Yep.
So,
and that's been kind of the whole goal of this whole program, is to get low cost, high quality education out to people so they can recertify easier. We may not make a whole lot of money off of it. The business is self-sustaining at this point, which is really, really an incredible feat of its own. Yeah. And it's just going to take a little bit of time as we get through school. And, one of the things that I'm really excited about through school is I want to try and build a video series, kind of just like a little vlog of some sort, of watching us not suffer, but have to go back to school. I got called a boomer. I'm 34 years old, and I sit in class with a bunch of 18-year-olds. I'm taking anatomy and physiology for the first time in my career, because I'm a certificate paramedic. I don't have college anything under my name, and I'm sitting in a classroom full of 18-year-olds that are talking about 5 big booms and 6, 7 and all this random stuff. And I get called a boomer for asking what that means. And it's just like, okay, I'm in a whole different ball game here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's definitely different going back. For me, luckily I did a lot of school when I first started it. So I already had my associates with that, so I haven't had to go back and take as many classes as Sam, which has been nice to watch him suffer, not me. But we have done a few classes together, did some math and some other stuff. But no, on top of, like I said, all of that, doing the EMR course, some in-person stuff, classes, some live classes and sessions with some of our groups that have bought from us, and then also doing, how many conferences did we do this year?
This past year 4? We did 4 pretty big conferences in our area, which was super fun. We got invited back to most of them, and the feedback was great. I love going and doing conferences. I'll do a plug for my favorite conference. Just the one-day Northern Nevada EMS conference in Elko is awesome. Just a great group of individuals, and we love going out there. We're looking forward to be back in March of 2026. Going to be doing a talk on pediatrics, so that's going to be really fun. I'm in the middle of course writing right now, which is another part of my life, is that when I'm not busy doing other things, I try to keep up on course writing and data and all the fun things.
Yeah, and we have lots of big plans for lots of courses.
Yes.
I know we're working on vent courses. We're working on some EKG stuff, lots of different things. And then just that continuing education for all levels as well. Again, we want to grow this company and provide that education for you guys, have a place to go that you can, just find some good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's a labor of love. And, as we are embarking through full time and doing this at the same time, it's just going to take a little bit of time. And, but one of the things that's really cool to me is hearing the amount of success that the education we've already produced has had just across the board. I mean, just like seeing where we get to ship our books to is super fun, because I've had a lot of fun, buying these books and then shipping them across the United States and seeing where our hot spots of education are, and sending things from Idaho all the way to New York or to Wisconsin, Michigan, Texas. It's cool to see the reach that we're getting. And then we get the little updates like we had just a couple weeks ago, you saw on Facebook of, first time pass success rates, getting their certification, looking at getting and flying. It's just this really cool feeling that's making this even more worth it every day.
Absolutely. I just need some Florida people to buy, and then I'll just deliver it in hand. That way, give me a chance to go out to Florida.
Yeah, Brian, do some work.
Let's go, Brian.
But it's been fun. And, the group sessions that we've been able to do, we've got 3 more group sessions to round out the year that we're going to get scheduled with another agency. That's going to be super fun. Really excited to see these agencies want to promote growth and building change within the pre-hospital environment. And it's cool to see, these agencies want to do the right thing for their patients and, their staff. And it's just been a really neat experience this last year.
Yeah, another big success for me, for my group. I'm going to throw a big shout out to our rescue group that we have. Going out, did a lot of training on top of that. So not only
you haven't even talked about what you've been doing.
I know, not only doing the full-time flight medic, obviously going to school, doing all of this, and then another thing we do is rescue stuff. So going out and did a ton of training and preparation. Ended up going to Chicago to the elevated rescue competition there, where we got to go and have fun and kick some butt and actually take home first place, which was totally awesome.
Yeah, bringing that W to Idaho, man.
Absolutely. So, no, that was great. And rope stuff and rescue stuff is something that I absolutely love. Love to actually start getting some of that on here as well for you guys, because there's plenty of times that, I don't know, I mean, it doesn't have to be a giant, huge rescue, but being able to get on a rope to go down an embankment to get to your patient safely, super applicable for almost everybody. So instead of just waiting around for somebody else to do it, learn that kind of stuff and get in there and start taking care of your patient at the bottom of the hill instead of waiting for them to be brought up to you. So I'd love to start doing some of that. And I know some of my guys, we're looking at doing some more of that as well. So if life's not busy enough, we'll jump into that as well.
Yeah.
But no, it's been really good. But probably keep this one shorter, and let's talk about something you learned this year.
Oh, man. Well, I've learned a lot between school, the patient population I've just had, except for this past month, really just complex cases. And, for going to a community college, these classes can be tough sometimes. And, I'm learning a lot about, EMS as a whole and how we kind of fit all of these different social networks and psychological stuff. It's been really kind of fun. But on a patient care side of things, one of the things that I've done a lot of transports on is aortic aneurysms, which is kind of funny because I've had multiple family members this year have aortic aneurysm repairs at a young age. We're all fat. We're all Caucasian, and we all enjoy nicotine to some degree, and we are all out of shape. And, hence I'm going through a big transformation just in lifestyle. I mean, losing weight, getting healthier, making sure that I can serve my population better. But some of the things that I've noticed is that these aortic aneurysms, when they're coming, they are coming in full force. They're not, little guys, and they're going to dissection really fast.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really had me thinking is I had one just a couple months ago, young guy, massive type A aortic dissection, went all the way from basically his aortic valve and went down into his right femoral artery, completely dissected.
Gotcha.
The biggest things that we kept him from doing is bearing down, right? We'd never want them to bear down, and then keep him from vomiting because he's getting opiates, and reducing any pressure changes within the abdominal cavity or intrathoracic pressures to keep that from going south in the helicopter. So those are all very, kind of standard run of the mill things, right? But where we ran into an issue is I've never had an issue of getting hypertension under control. So this is where we started to really go down the rabbit hole. We get in there and the blood pressure had been taken on the left arm and it was showing more normal blood pressures, right? So you're getting those systolics of 120s, 130s, a little bit more normal. And then, as we do, we take a blood pressure on the right arm and it was still 190s, nearing 200. So you got to remember to take those bilateral blood pressures. It's huge, right?
It is.
We have to make sure we're doing that because you always want to treat the highest blood pressure reading that you're getting.
I want to treat the highest and record the best.
Yeah, exactly. But where that ran into is we quickly maxed out on nicardipine. Nicardipine is a wonderful medication, easily titratable. It would be a huge benefit to see it on ambulances more instead of, our typical metoprolol, labetalol side of things.
Yeah.
It's very easy to titrate. You start at one number, you go up or down by 2.5. We're trying to do a 15% reduction in blood pressure every hour. And nicardipine wasn't touching it. So we add esmolol on top.
Gotcha.
And so we start getting esmolol on top. And you got to remember with esmolol in an aortic dissection, you go up by 50, but every time you do a titration, they're getting 500 mics per kilo bolus on top of that. And so you're throwing a crap ton of esmolol at them. But one of the things that you got to remember is that as we lower blood pressure, what does our sympathetic nervous system do? It's going to try and, it's thinking your body's being put into shock. So your tank's getting bigger. So it's going to increase that heart rate. Esmolol is a beta blocker, but it also didn't bring the heart rate down. So we were getting lower blood pressures, but our shearing forces were going up because we were getting
heart rate's going faster.
Because our heart rate's going faster. So how do we combat that? And never in my career did I ever have to think that I would be titrating 3 different antihypertensive medications for a period of 60 minutes to get this guy to definitive care, where you're having to start thinking about adding, something like push dose labetalol on top of, and just starting to put those pieces of that puzzle together of, this is a sympathetic response. We're trying to take his blood pressure down. His body's freaking out. We're going to increase the heart rate. And then you got to battle that on top of everything else. It's a really, really sticky situation you can get yourself into if you're not familiar with, the pathophysiology behind, what really happens in these, these automatic reflexes that our body does, and medication management.
Yeah. And knowing how those medications work, obviously very important, understanding what you're acting on, what part of the body and all of that stuff. And then how was, what about, you talked about narcotics as well. Were you guys doing fentanyl or pain management?
Yeah. So we did pain control. Fortunately, the guy didn't have any significant pain when we got there.
Gotcha.
That he was reporting, right? Tough big guy, gym goer, probably not going to report a true pain scale. So we added fentanyl on top of that, brought his heart rate down a little bit.
Did it?
But in the middle of transport, he's laying there supine, flat on the bed, still as a board. One of those, if I move, like I know what could happen to me type situations. And he just goes, I'm going to puke. And it like, as fast as we could, pulling up antiemetics. He had gotten prophylactic antiemetics and things like that.
Gotcha.
But you have to have these priorities and plans in place that if that situation arises, you're able to treat it quickly. So having that Zofran or the Napsine pulled up, ready to go, whether it's Phenergan, anything like that, as long as they're compatible with each other and all the meds are safe and your patient doesn't have any allergies, make sure you have your plan A, B, and C prepared, because, the last thing you want to do is have that, dissection go to a rupture and then you're trying to force as much blood into him as fast as you can, and you got about 15 minutes left to flight.
Yeah.
And that's just not a good outcome. So it was just, having those priorities set up from ABC, from blood pressure management to antiemetics to what we're going to do afterwards is huge in that pre-planning process, because aortic, they're a silent and very deadly killer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Odds on that one are pretty low.
Yeah.
Probably less than 50.
I would
imagine.
Blown away because we got there, because usually they tell us like odds are 10% of surviving this surgery.
Yeah.
And the cardiothoracic surgeon came up and said, you have a 80% chance of surviving this surgery.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, shit. Okay. Like,
that's pretty good.
Like, this is good. He's a young guy, kids at home, very nice wife. Like, the last thing I want to see is, that whole family go without, their dad for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But to know that he's out there, got discharged like a week later or something like that.
It's awesome.
And doing well. It's like, this is why we do this. This is why we train, why we get these processes in place, and why we need to know what we need to know.
Yeah. And I like that idea of, again, having that stuff ready, because that's something that you want to be planning for and not reacting to.
Yeah.
So having that stuff ready, treating prophylactically with the antiemetic, stuff like that, to make sure that we're not going to have to suddenly give Zofran because all of a sudden, we didn't give it to begin with. So no, that's really good. Man, I've had, like you, a lot of critical calls, a lot of crazy stuff, lots of trauma.
Yeah.
Felt like trauma season went long and continues.
It hit us hard this year.
It did.
I think this is one of our biggest. Let me pull the statistics on our 100 deadliest days. They release them out in Idaho every year for us. So let me pull that up. But go ahead and talk.
I think the craziest thing I saw this year was just somebody who basically performed a nice self-crike. That was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody decided to try to end it all, I guess, and took a knife and had about 10 stab wounds to their neck. First one, I'm imagining is the first one, was a heck of a shot, because it went through the trachea, through the esophagus, and actually wedged part of the blade into bone, which was in the spinal cord. Not just like a little bit, like 95% through the vertebral body.
Wow.
Crazy. So we got called over there for a transfer, and it was just like, cardiac monitor. And I'm like, well, it's not adding up. But as soon as we walked in, sure enough, just cardiac monitor, but patient sitting up, and obviously it wasn't going to go well if we decided to transport and do the, try to do the tube and everything on the way. So it was very interesting to see that as soon as we decided to intubate that person in the hospital, how intubation went great. Doc did a great job. Watched him do it, go right through the cords, advance the tube, go to bag, and getting nothing. Can't even squeeze the bag, because I imagine it's just we've false passaged with that tube. So Doc was ready. He had already called ENT, so we had another doc there. As soon as we couldn't get that tube to get done, Doc was able to go right into trachea to do just crike, just opened up the hole that was already there, and same thing, had difficulty getting the tube in, so I was ready as well. Just handed him the bougie. With the bougie down, it worked great.
Yeah.
So luckily we had one of the nurses in there was also a former medic, so we were ready. We had tube cut short because they didn't have a regular crike tube or anything like that. So, I mean, we had all the stuff that you would expect to do on the ambulance, just that kind of Wild West medicine ready to go for the docs and everything inside. We're able to secure that tube, just flipping a regular tube holder upside down, taping it down.
I love that.
It actually worked really, really well. Just extra tape to make sure it wasn't going to go anywhere or get pulled out by the vent tubing. But no, that was a crazy one. But it worked really well to have that bougie ready for those crikes, and expect a lot of blood. It's amazing how many times I've seen somebody cut their own throat and do stuff, and this like doesn't bleed at all. Mm-hmm. The second you put a scalpel in there and cut anything at all, It's insane. It was already a big hole, and literally Doc opened it up just a little bit more, and it was like fountain. It was insane.
That's wild.
I don't understand how that works. It was pretty impressive. So have suction ready for that kind of stuff. Have your dressings ready if you have to do a crike, and preload that tube with a bougie and get that bougie in. It works amazing to get past tissue and all of that stuff, and you're going to know if you're in the right spot or not. So use the bougie for those crikes, and be prepared also to right main stem. You're probably going to right main stem. It's going to happen. So make sure you're listening. And that was actually another really odd thing that happened was like, we're only getting right side, left side's really decreased. Pull tube back, like get x-ray, we're right on the edge, pull it back. It's like, okay, we're in the right spot, but still had really decreased left lung sounds on the left. And even just how much that left lung was inflated on x-ray was like, it's definitely not normal. And I think what happened was just a big blood clot.
Oh, okay.
Ended up in that left bronchi there. So that was kind of interesting to see. And it was like, be definitely difficult to figure out if you didn't have x-ray with you. Right. Yeah. So in the field, it was just something to notice. So obviously I going over my vent settings, and I wasn't having high pressures or anything that looked like we were right main stemmed. And obviously I had the x-ray to say that we weren't, but no, it's just something interesting to see. No, I think a couple good lessons, a couple little things on where we've been, why we haven't had a bunch of podcasts this year. Unfortunately, I know we're going to nursing school soon, which means we're going to be busy, but our goal is to keep at it.
Yep. That's going to be our biggest thing. I mean, we have spent a lot of time and a lot of energy this year upkeeping, certifying governing bodies and boards and making sure that we're set up to maintain through nursing school. So rest assured, we're not going anywhere because we just spent a crap ton of money to make sure that we get to continue to provide all this education. And I'm actually really excited to, look at doing either just a point of view vlog of, a 15-year EMS provider, flight paramedic going to nursing school, because my whole goal in this is to keep my head down.
Right.
And don't put a target on my back and just get that check mark to test for the NCLEX, right? And, learn some things along the way, because that's, always the biggest point. But to finalize we talked a little bit about trauma. I pulled up these statistics and I thought they were pretty interesting. We had a 7% increase in traumatic fatalities across the state of Idaho, which was 88, up from 82. And our key contributing factors: failure to maintain lane, speeding, alcohol, fatigue or drowsy driving, failure to yield, crossings, motorcycles, all of those fun things. So it, although the numbers are up, and there's a lot of those incidents that don't get reported to this, but the key statistics are there that it's just getting busier and harder to maintain these patients quite a bit. So on that note, I got nothing else for the day.
No, you're good. I love the idea of kind of doing that vlog, and we want to help anybody else who wants to go to nursing school, wants to, again, just give themselves more opportunity in the future. I think it's a great idea. A lot of times, I love being a paramedic. I don't regret it at all.
No.
But I absolutely tell people that they're going to medical school. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You should go to nursing school. But, and I think just, it has definitely been a pain though, trying to get some of this stuff figured out.
Yeah. Going and getting my CNA license.
Yeah. You're looking at 2 CNAs, by the way. You're welcome.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Shout out to all
that.
the CNAs out there, though.
Gosh.
You guys put up with a whole ton of stuff that I don't have the stomach for most of the time. So
100%.
And
I'll give a shout out to Montana for letting you go test and not have to go through the course. Thank you for that. There's a few other states, so make sure you look that up as well.
If you need information on that, reach out to us, because if you want a quick way to go through CNA to get into school, there's some ways to do it.
Yeah, and a lot of nursing programs don't require it. Ours does.
That's here nor there,
right? So, but no, I think that'll be good, and just try to help you guys figure out some of the stuff that we've had to figure out on our own.
Yep.
Just like even not having to take classes, and just credit for prior learning stuff. Like
it's huge.
It's important. And, especially when, for like me doing this for 18 years, I'm sorry, I don't need a lot of these classes. That stuff I already know and I understand versus, taking a few of them. It's like, okay, I can see how this could be helpful for the 18-year-old, 19-year-old coming into the world and going to college. Cool. For the first time. Great. I get it. But there's a lot of ways to use that credit for prior learning to your benefit, and definitely can save you money, because a lot of times that just gives you a pass and you don't have to pay full price for those credits. So
I was able to get 16 elective credits for $28 a piece, just based off of credit for prior learning. Yeah. And if you guys want guidance on that, reach out to us. I have a whole host of, key terms and elements that I put into emails and contacting these colleges on how to make this work, why it's beneficial, when it's beneficial for not only for me, but for them. And, it created this really cool collaboration between us and the college on showing what paramedics can truly do. They have a much better understanding. And when you take them to these colleges and these proposals, I mean, it's a huge deal. They want to know why they should give you this credit, and being able to flaunt what paramedics can do has been really fun.
It has been. And we've had a lot of meetings with a lot of people. So trying to get all this stuff done. Yeah.
Deans.
Oh my gosh.
Council people, just everyone. It's been wild. Yeah. So, but on that note, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to, like these videos, follow the Facebook, subscribe, buy a book, say hi, check out the courses, all the fun things. We love to talk with people. Send us a message if you get this. And, I just appreciate you guys tuning back in after, 8-month hiatus from us for a while.
Right. Yeah. And it's not that we've been gone. We've been working behind the scenes doing stuff. We just haven't had the chance to really get out there and do this stuff. So we're excited to get back to it, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. So
talk to you soon.
Thanks.